August 16th, 1977, Mr. Elvis Aaron Presley passed. Went on to be with the Lord. I think he was 44 years of age. I think so. 42, 44. Yeah, 42. I think he was 42. He was born in 35. So yeah. So, like most people, you can remember where you were that day. And for me, I can tell you exactly where I was because it was ironic. In 1973, Elvis did at the time, which was the biggest television event in history. It was called Aloha from Hawaii. I believe that was January of 73 or 74. You can go back and look it up, pretty easy to do. But the broadcast from Honolulu, Hawaii, the Aloha Center, the Blasi Center, where he did that concert, went across the world via satellite and into over 1 billion homes, and there had never been anything like that. Never. So, interestingly enough, in November of the year before, Elvis came to that facility, which I had gone and seen the Rolling Stones there, Chuck Berry, Tony Joe White, ZZ Top. These are all concerts from the early 70s. Now we're talking 1970 on up, CCR. So just a lot of folks that I got to see there. And I remember it very well, but an interesting thing, he came there in November of the year before that they broadcast it so he could do basically a sound check. And it was free to the public. And you can imagine the excitement when Elvis Presley showed up. And it was during that time in 72, I want to say it was, November of 72, just a couple months before the event, he flew into the airport, and like thousands of other people, we went and would go. And we would do that several times. And back then, the airplanes didn't necessarily pull up to the gate. They would stay out there on the tarmac, and people would walk down the ramp and be out there, and you'd be looking at them from behind the glass up at the gate. And typically when Elvis would come, there'd be some black limousine type cars out there, and they'd come and whisk him away because he'd come down the stairs and get right in those limousines. But you got to see Elvis, right? But on this particular time that we went, for some odd reason, I wouldn't know why, he actually got off the airplane, got down the tarmac, and started walking with an entourage totally surrounding him, and disappeared out of everyone's sight. And the excitement of what was going to happen next, we just happened to be at the gate that was relative to that airplane because it was not a private flight, it was a commercial flight. So this was the gate where everybody else was supposed to walk down the steps and come to. So Elvis came off first, and there we were. And my father put me up on his shoulders. So you can imagine everybody else head high, but I'm the only person that is elevated. And wouldn't you know, through the doors came this mass of people, and security guards, and just a flow of people. But straight in the middle was that jet black blue hair of Elvis Presley with those big gold glass rim, and oh my gosh, it was Elvis. And I was 4. Listen, I can remember distinctly like it was yesterday. And I've had this conversation with my mother, who's verified the memories of a young man, a kid. But what happened was the coolest thing. It was mass pandemonium, as you can expect, but we couldn't get to him because why? Well, heck, securities, man. They had I don't know how many people with him. But as he came out the door, we were pressed right next to the rope right there. They hadn't pushed the rope back any further than it would have normally been for anybody coming off that plane. So there we were, and somehow, some way, we were right there. We were right on the rope, and I was up above everybody. So I was 8 foot high. and he walked in, and they all walked in, but from my vantage point, I could see that black blue hair of his. It was so black it was blue, and those gold glasses. And as he walked, everybody screaming and hollering, and Elvis, Elvis, Elvis. And what happened next was the neatest thing. I'm standing there looking basically down at this, and he stuck his hand up and he reached for mine. And I guess I had mine out too, like everybody else. But I remember reaching for his that was offered to me from him. And for one brief moment, held the hand of Elvis Aaron Presley. And he looked at me and I looked at him. I remember it like yesterday. And it was just a frozen moment in time. And an interesting little side note of the Millionaires Quartet, the four that came out of Sun Records: Carl Perkins, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Elvis Presley. That's the Millionaires Quartet, right? Of the four that came out of those doors in Sun Records and set the world on fire with rockabilly and rock and roll, I had the pleasure of meeting three of them. And I met Mr. Carl Perkins and worked with him. And I met Johnny Cash several times and did projects that he was involved with through the years. A small part, like so many other people had done. And the only person I never met of those four was Jerry Lee, but I saw him in Hawaii. And the day that Elvis passed away, I was exactly in front of the building where I had seen him perform in that November time frame before he came to do Aloha from Hawaii in January of the following year. I was in the back of a red Pinto laying down in the back seat like a kid would do. And Mom was driving and the news came over, and I just remember. In loving memory of Mr. Elvis Aaron Presley, let's do a song that was a classic for him in the 70s, for sure, and later covered by Mr. Dwight Yoakam. It goes like this. Because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me when you don't believe a word I'm saying? We can't go on together with suspicious minds. We can't build our dreams on suspicious minds. If an old friend I know stops by to say hello, would I still see suspicion in your eyes? Here we go again, asking where I've been. You don't see how real the tears are I'm crying. We can't go on together with suspicious minds. We can't build our dreams on suspicious minds. All that I love about you, I will dry the tears from your eyes. Let's don't let a good thing die. Oh no, you know I'll never ever lie to you. Ooh, not much. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. And he did like his mom. Caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Yes. We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. One of my favorite one of my favorite tunes of Mr. Elvis Presley. A little tongue-tied thinking about all those memories, and I hope it brought back a few for you. God bless you all. I hope that you're enjoying your day and making some music or playing some music that you're getting to enjoy. God bless you all.